Chapter 12, Section 4. Objective, learn to find the equation of the line given one point and the slope. And our essential question, what is point-slope form? The point-slope form of an equation of a line with a slope m passing through the point x1, y1 is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. The point on the line is considered x1, y1. Remember, those ones don't mean anything. It just means it represents only the first point on the line that we're looking at. The point-slope form takes the variable y minus the first y point equals the slope m, and then times the quantity x minus the first x point. Anything that's in a color that is not black is something that's going to get replaced with a number. So first, let's use the point-slope form of each equation to identify a point the line passes through and the slope of the line. So you can see how the equation y minus 7 equals 3 parentheses x minus 4 lines up with y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. It's easy first to identify the slope because that's always going to be the number in front of the parentheses. So we would say m equals 3. And now we want to identify the x and the y. X is always going to be subtracted from the x variable. Y is subtracted from the y variable. As long as these are both subtraction signs, we take the numbers out as positive numbers. So our ordered pair would be positive 4 and positive 7. Let's try another one. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 times the quantity x plus 6. So again, the slope is easy to identify because it's in front of the parentheses. Now x plus 6 could be written as x minus a negative 6. The reason we would expand that out is because we want to know exactly what x value we're taking out of there. Because the original equation needs to be subtraction, and we see a plus sign, when we write it as subtraction, that would be a negative 6. So for our ordered pair, x would be negative 6 and y would be positive 1. Let's go the other direction. Write the point-slope form of the equation with the given slope that passes through the indicated point. The line with slope 4 passing through the point 5, negative 2. So we start with our point-slope form. The slope is 4, that would be m. X is 5, which would be x1, and negative 2 is y1. So when we substitute the numbers in the correct places, this is what we would get. The only thing we would want to do is go a step further. When we see y minus negative 2, to make that into y plus 2. That's as far as you need to go to get to point-slope form. Let's try one with the line with a slope of negative 5 passing through the point negative 3, 7. So y1 will be 7, m will be negative 5, and x1 will be negative 3. We would clean this up by taking x minus negative 3 and turning that into x plus 3. And there's your point-slope equation. Let's look at a word problem and how we might use it. A roller coaster starts by ascending 20 feet for every 30 feet it moves forward. Ascending 20, 30 feet forward. That sounds like a slope. We're going up 20, over 30. The coaster starts at a point 18 feet above the ground. So to me that sounds like a y-intercept. You're at the beginning, which would be 0 for x, and then you're up at 18 for y. Write the equation of the line that the roller coaster travels along in point-slope form and use it to determine the height of the coaster after traveling 150 feet forward. Assume that the roller coaster travels in a straight line for the first 150 feet. So as x increases by 30, y increases by 20, so our slope is 20 over 30, or 2/3, and the line passes through the point 0, 18. We plug that into point-slope form. We get y minus 18 equals 2/3 times x minus 0. The equation of the line the roller coaster travels along in point-slope form is given. Notice that the x minus 0 disappears because x minus 0 would just be x. Substitute 150 for x to find the value of y. The reason we're substituting the 150 in for x is because that's how far forward we're moving, and x would be moving forward on the horizontal axis. So we substitute that in, we multiply, and then we add 18 to both sides to get y equals 118. So at 118 feet would be the height after you've traveled 150 feet forward. Just one little trick to show you. You can also use point slope form to write slope intercept. So if we start by finding the equation in point slope form, we would have y minus 4 equals 3 times x minus -1, which would be x plus 1. If we want to get slope intercept form, we just want to get y by itself. We can distribute the 3 on the right side so that we get y minus 4 equals 3x plus 3. And then to get y by itself, we add 4 to both sides. Since there's no x with it, we add it to the 3 that does not have the x. So now we have y equals 3x plus 7. Ooh, I apologize, sorry, very messy. Y equals 3x plus 7. So it might be easier to start in point slope form and get slope intercept form than it would be to substitute the slope in and the x and the y to solve for b, the y-intercept. You can make that decision as to which method you like better. And that's the end of lesson 12.4.